Right, greetings everybody. It is going to be somewhat of a short video today. We are at the end of Umbra's day. He is tired, but he has decided to make a video showing the Reincarnation Plus system, at least my initial reactions to it. At this point in time, there isn't much out there for details about whether or not it's really as bad as it said, or, you know, even if it is that bad yet. Like, the update today, there's been some new stuff here on JP, starting off with, and I guess I'll cover this in this video because otherwise I'll probably never talk about it, this, which is a way to get the new Durandal sword, a new piece of equipment that comes from doing this challenge with very specific restrictions for its incredibly hard difficulty. And yeah, it's kind of not worth it, essentially. I've been waiting for somebody to talk about this because I was not going to do this. But the general consensus seems to be that it just isn't worth it because there are multiple units out there that just, you know, paid units that are way better than this piece of equipment can ever hope to do. So it's some content to essentially do, but the restrictions on trying to get through it and do it very well seems like it's more just busy work for whales, and yeah, not much else. So let's jump over and talk about the other thing, which is the Reincarnation Plus system. And we're going to be using the good old-fashioned Mont because he's one of the few characters that I actually do have fully reincarnated and can actually upgrade at this point in time. Like, for example, we go over here. Hey, here's Sephiroth. Can we do anything with Sephiroth yet? No, we cannot. So I guess it's going to have to be Mont because Umbra ain't spending money on this anymore. So here is the new system. As you can see at this point in time, all of this seems to just be the way it is, but hey, look at this new button here where we have regular Mont, and oh my goodness, it takes more antlers. That's right, I guess they felt that they needed a justification to sell more antlers to people and keep them being rare and annoying. Well, I guess they got there. Good for you. You found out how to do it, team. So if we do this and upgrade this, well, this is to go even further beyond. And as you can see, this is what the new field looks like. 66,300 HP for this character in terms of its upgrade. If we just go here and take a look, I mean, you can get an idea for what you essentially have to do, what the resources are needed to do this. If we actually just, for example, go through with this, let's see whether or not it is faster than the previous system. Good music. You know, as per usual, the music is better than the gameplay here. But you guys knew that. You've been watching my videos probably for a while. Right, and shoop da whoop. Doesn't look like it. As a matter of fact, it very much seems like given that we've hit 544 with this much into the reincarnation pool that we've done, I mean 10 times, does seem like it is just more of a grind, which isn't really that surprising, but I guess at this point in time, it's nice to have a confirmation that this system is probably one of those things that is something that you just don't want to do. And, you know, if you're on the global side and out of this, maybe just be glad that this isn't something you have to deal with. And to be fair, well, okay, I would say to be generous about this kind of stuff. I think that most of the time when we are looking at this, everybody comes at me with, well, you're probably overreacting, you probably don't need to do this, probably only a whales thing, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I get that, I understand. But this system, I just don't like. I didn't like it originally, I didn't think it was that much fun. It was a little bit superfluous, but it's always just kind of, it's gotten to the point, to me anyway, or it's more annoying that it constantly hangs over your head of just being like, look at all this stuff you can't do. And this is a lot. I mean, for whales, it probably won't even be that much of a thing, because essentially it's just like, okay, well, I mean, I guess we just have more of a reason to spend all the resources we had anyway. For everyone else, it just feels like another separator. So I get it. I get the argument always of you don't have to do this. But if that's the case, well, you don't really have to play this game either. I'm just more coming down on the side of, I'm not really feeling the flow with that argument as much in terms of Wotv, because this is just something that feels woof. But anyway, physical, let's talk about abilities or bonuses. We have shooting attack resistance, physical and magical damage reduction, increase to all attribute attacks, strengthen drain killer. And we got more stuff to read too. Defense penetration rate for 3 turns, then deals a large amount of damage to target. Human killer absorbs damage dealt, reduces AP and recovers own AP. All of that. And then here, so it looks like they have segmented this into the actual new stuff. Oh wait, commander effect. HP up of 10%, earth attribute attack up of 10, luck up of 10%, and there's still more. They probably should have just made this window bigger. Attack up of 10%, action block rate of 20, and then more. It's kind of weirdly worded, and I don't believe that it was up on Wotv Calc before I essentially looked at this, or when I was looking at this earlier. So yeah, I mean, in the coming days, probably a little bit more of a judgment, but initially it's like, it feels like resetting your progress, and maybe not in the greatest way. Well, we have like 1399, so it probably is going to be for URs. Like, for example, just taking, let's for example go back to Sephiroth for a second here. If you take a look at what originally you had to do for UR, it's basically 83 reincarnations. That you can do the math on all the resources and everything you need. This new Reincarnation Plus system just seems like a way of doubling that. Whether or not it's actually worth the effort is probably not true. Like, if you're a mid-tier player, this is probably not going to change your mind about spending more money on the game. As a matter of fact, it will push you probably away from it. It's probably only targeted at trying to get whales to spend more, but it's quite a thing to essentially kind of offer a double up system that most players will never get to or never really use all that much, because antlers are still pretty restricted, and it's not like we've gotten more live streams to potentially give away more free antlers or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. I will come down on the side that, at least for an initial impression, I don't like it, and it's not making me really terribly excited to play the game. But hey, you know, maybe we'll take another look at it a few days later once there's some compiled lists of all of the enhancements for all of the characters, because I am just not doing that for UR characters at this point in time, if I do need those antlers for other things in the future. But I'm having a hard time justifying this one as being a good thing. Anyway, that's all for me. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and see you later. Probably should do a summer Amnilus video pretty soon.